Aries. All right, so this is the Aries look done by the Aries Yasmin, my makeup artist for the Quietest Revolution, and Elma, Queen of Swords, doing her thing with the Queen of Swords hair. As always, you guys know she's responsible for this mane, and this is the newest look. We just did a look for Libra before this where we did like a curly like bob sort of thing, and this is a more kind of combed out look, little disco 70s look going on. And we've got the Pat McGrath Mothership palettes, probably 1, 2, and 3 being used in this look. So we're going for a really like shimmery, metallic, sunset, woman on fire kind of thing going on. So shout out to Elma and Yazzie for this amazingness. Uh-oh. Cards already. Okay. First card out. The Star. Pretty damn good for a first card. You're going to get what you want. Ooh, second card. 7 of Swords. But do you want what you think you want? Next card, 6 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, 6 of Swords. Underneath that, 6 of Cups. That went fast. Well, that happened very quickly. That progressed very quickly. So, okay. Let's look at the 3 sixes together. Let's just look at them, because obviously there is something that needs to be discussed here. How would I read this right off the bat? You feeling like you really, really, really belonged with someone, them doing what we knew last month they would do, which is show you that they're liars, you having to then leave one sword behind, which would be theirs, but take all the other ones back from them that aren't theirs. So you take your 6 and you're out. And the thing that makes it difficult, you see, for an Aries to leave behind that which is not good for them, is because Aries is a sucker for movement. That's your weakness. You like movement. So a lot of times if someone figures you out, then they realize that the best way to keep you is just to keep you moving. It doesn't matter if you're moving towards them or away from them. As long as they keep you moving, you're theirs. I know, that really sucks, because it's like so unfair and you're being so manipulated and played, and like, oh my God, I can't believe you're saying like my nature is being used against me, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Your nature is like really being used against you, because you see this here is a push and pull. One of these is emotionally needing to get away from someone where you have to rationalize it to the point where you and your thoughts have to pick up and go. And the other one is going towards completion and love and all of that with the power of manifestation and the wands of manifestation and the fire energy with you. Very opposing sentiments. And then in between these two, and yet somehow very similar, right? The 6s are similar. How are they similar? They're definites, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at the 6 of Cups. What is the 6 of Cups? The 6 of Cups it exemplifies a connection that is instant. It's immediate. You know it as soon as you feel it. You know it like this is someone you've known all your life. That's why it's 2 children. It's something just, you know it in your bones. You just know, right? In the same way, when it's time to leave, as Aries will attest to more than probably any other sign, when it's time to leave, it's time to leave. You just know. You know in your gut. And I'm not just talking about like a romantic situation. I'm talking about just situations. Like you just know when it's time to go, right? You're just like, okay, this is whack, I'm leaving. But it's never just that, right? It's always like, a lot of times you guys get such a bad rap for being surface. And it's like, no, you guys aren't surface at all. You're just not going to take the time to go in detail and go in depth with people about something that needs to be acted on right now. Like, someone could ask you about it later and you could go into great detail about why you did what you did and but in that moment, you really don't have time to explain yourself to anyone. You have to act on your instinct because it's survival instinct. Your instincts are very tied to your survival, as they should be for everyone, but they're not. That's the issue. That's why you guys come off as being too much, because you're doing what we've all been doing, primal us have been doing forever, but you guys are kind of the last vestige of that, and in a lot of ways that is true for Aries. We are entering the age of Aquarius. We have entered the age of Aquarius. So Mars energy, Aries energy is, dwindling. It will dwindle. It will continue. I mean, it will reach a crescendo before it goes away, but the nature of this sort of energy is that it burns itself out. Now, if you're an Aries and you're also a female, you're in luck, because one of the ways that the divine feminine comes back into being and takes control back from the male, Mars energy, is by using the female Mars energy to bring the divine feminine back. So you have these archetypes of things like Wonder Woman and, Diana and all these, Artemis. You have all these sort of, the thing that defines them is their sovereignty. The thing that defines them is their independence, right? So reimagining the divine feminine in its pure form, taking it back, right? Cooking it back to its primal form where we were worshiping women. So if you are an Aries woman, you are able to kind of carry that energy into this new age. If you are an Aries man, you may find yourself very disconcerted in the age of Aquarius, because it is by definition so much against your nature. However, for a very long time, and still for a very long time to come, your nature and your energy will be very needed. Having said that, and I only took that segue just to kind of make you feel better about how extreme people can feel that you are. And all I'm saying is that all of us at one point, all our ancestors acted like you guys do, which is that they acted on their gut constantly. That's how we got this far. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, my genetics only made it this far because for generation after generation after generation, when it really mattered, when we were living in caves and fighting off saber-tooth tiger and all of that, when it really mattered, my ancestors made those snap gut decisions like you guys still do, which is why my genetics made it this far. So we kind of all owe it to you guys, right? To be the ones that take that leap of faith. But it is so difficult, and that's what this is. The Six of Swords is a leap of faith. And it is prompted by being unhappy where you are and unhappy with how you're being treated. But Aries has a tendency to stick even when they're treated badly. And I think it's something that all the fire signs have in common. It's really strange to me because fire signs are the most hot-headed, but also the ones that take the most abuse. So it's kind of like, whoa, you guys make the most noise, but like you guys get treated the worst by your partners. Like, it's so confusing. And I think it's because the journey that you have to make to be emotionally independent is really terrifying. And I was thinking about it a lot. I didn't know the cards would come up like this, but I had been thinking, and the Star card is really where I'm going with this. Like, the Major Arcana is why I'm going to tell you the story, but it's just so poignant. It's crazy how I came about it too. So it's just like, I kind of just like wander around thinking about things a lot. I read a lot. I zone out and just sit around a lot. And like, just ideas will just kind of come to me. And then I'm like, oh, right, that goes with this sign or that video. And like, I should do that video now. Okay, cool. So I've been walking around just kind of thinking about stuff, and this word kept coming into my head. Like, I had heard it in a hymn song, but then I didn't really know what it meant, and then I'd just forgotten about it, and then I'd kind of been listening to that song again, and I heard the word again, and I was like, what is that? And it just like kept ringing in my head for some reason, so I looked it up, and the word was Polaris. Polaris. So I'm like, oh, Polaris, what's that, you know? So I look it up, and it's apparently a constellation. And the way it got its name, and I'm just kind of reading, and I was blown away by the synchronicity because I had just been thinking about how I wanted to do the Aries video, but I didn't want to do a story about my mom. I wanted to do something different, and I just wanted to, like, you know, give you insight in another way, like I do with all the signs, you know, just round it out. So here I am, I'm reading about Polaris. Okay, so what's Polaris? So apparently it's a ram. It's this ram who would climb these, you know, mountains, and he would always get to the top, and he loved it, and it was awesome. And then he climbed this one mountain, and he could see that if he could climb this mountain, it would be the most amazing thing that had ever happened and that he had ever done. And he'd always been really good at any mountain he'd ever tried to climb, he could. So, like, he knew that if he wasn't going to play himself, you know, that he had to keep climbing the best mountains. And when he saw this mountain, he was like, whoa, that's the best mountain. Like, if I climb that one, you know, I have done it. Like, I can really be in ownership of the ego and the love for myself that I feel, and I feel like I'm so wonderful. And if I do that thing, then I will really have the justification for how, like, lovely I feel about myself. So, like, let's go do it. Very Aries thinking, right? So he goes and he starts climbing. So the road's kind of like going like this around the mountain, right? So he's climbing, and at one point he gets this part where he's got to go in the mountain to go up more. He's got to go in like this tunnel sort of thing, like into this cave-like thing. And when I got to this part of the story, I started getting like really nervous, right? Because I don't like that. So he goes in there, and as he's going, he's like hearing like rocks falling. Like, as he's like climbing, right, his like feet are slipping on rocks, and it's getting darker and darker as he goes into the cave. He can feel that he's going higher and higher, but it's like getting darker and darker and tighter and tighter. And so he gets to a point where he really can't fit anymore. So he's like, oh, word, like, I'm stuck. Okay, I'll just go back. But then when he tries to go back, right, all the rocks that he's been kicking, they built up behind him. There's no way out. Whoa. When I got to that part of the story, I was like, pause. Nope, not for me. We're going to have to find a different example for the area because I'm not reading any more of this. And then I was like, oh no, if I don't read it, then it's going to really bug me. All right, fine. Let's see what he did. And then I'm like, no. Like, your mom would find a way out of this. She's an Aries. No. Come on, it's an Aries story. Like, he'll find a way out. Okay. Let's keep reading. So he has that terrifying moment where he realizes that his shoulders are stuck. And he's stuck, but he can't go back. So he goes forward, inching forward. And he realizes that even if he gets out of this situation, he'll never be able to get down. It's over. His life is over. But he's still got to keep going, or else he's going to die in the dark. Stuck. So he keeps going. And he does, in fact, emerge out of the dark, extremely narrow, stuck, trapped place to the tallest, highest peak that could ever be achieved. And it is as glorious and as wonderful and as awe-inspiring and as ego-fulfilling as he knew it would be. And he is alone there. But he's happy because it's okay to be alone if you've done the thing. And so his father sees this and is so moved by his, bravery and his want to take on this thing, which would inevitably, lead to his death or his lonely death or whatever. But just still the ambition of it, the wanting to succeed so much, not for anyone, for the self. You see, he doesn't climb the mountain because he wants people to look at him. They can't even see that high up. Even if they applauded, he wouldn't be able to hear them. They're too far down. It's not for anyone. It's for you guys. It's for yourself. And anyone, anything that's going to keep you in that dark tunnel feeling stuck, it's just rocks that you got to kick behind you. Use them as a way so you can't turn around and go back. So you got to go forward. See, I really wanted to stop reading that story because I'm about this life. I said this in San Francisco. I'm really good at leaving. It's what I do best is run. I just run away. Bye. See you. Nope. Bye. And when it said in the story that he was going to go back, I was like, yeah, of course, go back. Come on. Like, just go back. Stupid. I wouldn't have even got in that kit. Like, I wouldn't have even, what are you doing? Get out. And then it said that he couldn't get out. I was like, oh, God. Oh, God, he can't run. Oh, God, he can't run. I feel sick. Like, I did not feel well. So, what I'm saying is, I get how scary that moment is. I get how scary it is to kick people like rocks behind you and use them as a way so you can't go back there. So you have to push forward in the dark and the narrow where you might get stuck and die. I get it. It is the weirdest kind of motivation to give people. But you're not people, you're rams. It's the only motivation that's going to work. You see, people can lie to you and be really terrible to you, and you'll still stay. That's the truth. They'll talk their way back in because they know that your heart is pure, and people whose hearts are pure, they're naive. And no matter what you do, you won't be able to do this. You'll say you'll leave. You'll say you want to, but you won't. The only way you get to leave this ickiness behind so you can really have that top of the mountain that you want. And don't get it twisted. It will be lonely up there. There's no partner, sibling, child, nobody that can follow you up there. Nobody. If you get lucky enough to have a child that somehow learns to fly on their own and can fly by you on whatever mountain you happen to be on, perfect. Otherwise, you're just going to have to get used to smiling and waving from afar. I'm sorry, but like every Aries parent knows what I'm talking about. There is a distance there, and it's fine. But if you want that sort of accomplishment that Polaris wanted, if you want that distant sort of success that you all crave, fine. You are never going to get there like this. This is a cycle back and forth. She lied to me, but then I love her. He's being shady, but then I can't. It's just back and forth, back and forth. And anyone who knows that you like movement will pull you back and forth like that. Because they know you're afraid of that place in the dark tunnel. They take just enough rocks out so you can slide back out, and then you go back, and then and you're just stuck, and you're stuck, and you can't. And I feel it. And I know it. And I get it. I totally get it. But trust me when I tell you that on the other side of it, there are such good things. But do you see how these cards come first? So let me show you these, and we'll pull some more. I swore I had a soda. I do have a soda. I'm going to find my soda. Sorry. Okay. So, you see how these come first, right? It's a direct message. You want that? Why do you have all this in the way? We already talked about this last month. You're already supposed to know this. This person has already shown you very clearly who they are. What are we doing? So then this, then this. Now let's see what happens after that. Because I told you right away someone will come in. As long as you don't get stuck right here. Okay. The Tower just popped like in and out of my hand. You guys are walking that fine line in November. Very emotional, huh? Because I get it. You don't like to be lied to. Who does? Feeling that Scorpio energy. It's going to get to everybody. But now you also have to deal with the fact that you have this other person in your life who's got all these other concerns, all these other issues, all these other money worries, all these other logistical issues that have nothing to do to you. And yet somehow they have everything to do to you because they won't stop lying to you about it. Right? All this activity in Scorpio. Having Scorpio as your house of like the other people you got to deal with and what's going on with them is so irritating because that means that they hide it from you. That means that you constantly pick people who hide things from you, and it's so irritating for Aries to be around people who hide things from them. It's so interesting the way astrology is set up, or like the way, not astrology is set up, but the way the universe is set up. Astrology is just a study of it, but it's so interesting, right? All right, Page of Wands, Four of Wands. All right, good. Ooh, Five of Swords. So, all right, so what does it mean? You were coming up before here at the bottom of the deck as the Knight of Wands, right? You guys saw that? This is a demotion for sure. But not a bad one. Although that word always has a pejorative connotation. Let's say this is a demotion from ego, right? Give it like a positive spin. So this is what's happening. Sure, you will in some ways feel cut down to size, okay? You will feel in some ways diminished, made smaller. I get it. But it is in a way that is so beneficial for your further, more stable, grounded future. There are parts of your ego that will be cut away by the final cutting away of this toxicity here. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, what's keeping this cycle around is your ego. It has nothing to do with anything else. So when you lose that part, when you finally decide to give this up, you will have also given up parts of your ego, which is healthy, right? So from the Knight that was here to now the Page of Wands, very healthy. I like this for you. And I like it even better because this is the outcome card. So you're humbling in some way. I don't like that whole cutting down to size thing. You're redefining yourself based on the parameters of what you've just been through and what you've had to give up and what you've had to realize about yourself. You see, until you realize your shortcomings in terms of movement for no reason, in terms of being needy, in terms of wanting what you can't have, until you realize that those things are neurotic, you will not be able to leave the situation behind. Until you stop liking those things about yourself, you will not be able to break out of this toxic cycle. Once you do, though, you'll understand that those things never defined you as a person. You are not necessarily the type of person who needed any of those things. Those were just things that you were using to mask what was otherwise a pretty unstable situation. You had concerns, you had doubts. You always did. This is the Seven of Swords at the beginning of the reading. Like, you were always kind of worried that this person was not being honest with you, whether this is a love situation or a financial situation, it doesn't matter. Or a friendship, it doesn't matter. There was always that nagging kind of like, but yeah, this person is just not, it comes up here again. Look at that. Look. And what is it saying? What it's saying is, even with everything here that you so obviously can have, if you still choose this, then here you go. Very clear. Sure, you'll get your chance again at reemergence, but I mean, we want to go through this again. It's so clear. You see, that's why this card. It's like, if you want to harken back to this, if you want to go back to this movement for no reason situation that you really have somehow convinced yourself was everything that you ever wanted in life. I'm talking as much to myself as to you. Okay? Then you could get stuck here. Look at this. If you think this person's going to let you go or stop lying to you, you're out of your mind. They love this. But look at this. Look at what you get to be if you just give anybody else a shot. Because this person is out there. And you know this person and this person are different people, right? And the extended will look at this. Yeah, I see the tower there. And the extended will look at this. Right? But as far as November is concerned, it looks like you're going to spend a large part of the beginning of November stuck in a useless cycle, wasting your time. And if that's what needs to happen, because there's all this activity in Scorpio and it's pulling you towards your significant other's bullshit, then fine. Then don't fight it. But know and observe this pattern. Observe this person closely so you can finally begin to figure out, again, whether it's a work or love situation, so you can finally begin to figure out, or not figure out, but see what everyone else can so obviously see, which is that you are being pulled on a string or a rubber band back and forth, right? Once you see that, will it be painful? Of course. Better for something to be painful once than to have a wound picked at again and again and again and again. Because like we've discussed before, if you pick at a wound too much, it will stop repairing itself. That's how a piercing works. All right. So then what? Then towards the end of the month, if you are able to work yourself out of this cycle, there's a very good chance that something new, which has Aries been trying to come in for months, I would just like to point out, will come in. But again, this is so incumbent on you being receptive. Now, does it look like you're going to be more receptive this month than you have been previously? Yes. But only because you're finally beginning to see the light here. It was never a question of not being able to attract the right person. The right person has kind of been circling for a while. It's about you not being receptive because you just really, this was entertaining. I guess. I mean, not to diminish it. Not entertaining. You were in love. I get it. Or you had strong feelings, or you were just sucked in by someone who was just playing with you. Whatever it was very captivating. Let's say it that way. I get it. This is not captivating. This is real. A magic show can be captivating. Doesn't make it substantial, doesn't make it real, doesn't make it good for you. This was very captivating. It is very captivating. It always will be. This is the nature of it. This is why this card comes up first. Remember how we always talk about the major arcana being the road signs, right? Not the map, but the signs. Go this way if you want to go here. You want what your heart most desires. You want your wishes to come true. Your wishes for yourself to come true. Good. Leave this nonsense behind because this is all about somebody else. The only place you're coming up here is with your back turned. You see, you don't really want this. What you really want will come to you all by itself. It will walk into your life. And if I were you, I would focus on the other things that you really want because you'll have the energy to pull things towards you right now. Or you can just keep pulling energy for this dynamic, which is just feeding off you. Your choice. All right, Aries. So fantastic, huh? We are so excited about doing these Pat McGrath looks. Those 3 palettes, the Mothership palettes, have just been mind-blowing. They've just been, seriously life-changing. The amount of pigment, I don't even know if you guys, I'll put the selfies on Instagram so you can check them out. It's just a joy. We're having so much fun working with them. we're not in any way like affiliated or anything. We're just like fans. So we just thought we would do this. And of course, Elma always coming through with the hair. So big up the team. Do you guys want to come and say goodbye? No, they're sleeping. They're both asleep. Awesome. Well, I thought they were listening to the reading, but they're asleep. So we will see you guys in December. If you're in New York, we're doing a satsang, which is a gathering where you can just hang out with me and ask some questions. We'll do an energetic cleanse. We'll do a sound bath. We'll do like readings, like not readings with cards, but like, energetic readings. It's 15-person capacity, so we're almost sold out. But it will be on November 9th and November 10th at Queen of Swords, which is Elma Salon in Bushwick. So if you're interested, I think there are a few spots left for the 10th. You can check it out at the Queen of Swords Instagram or on my Instagram at Amber Khan. And there should be more info there, a link that will take you to the tickets, and I'll also leave the link here. As far as extended readings, the extended will be up tomorrow. There will be a link in this reading, and there will be a YouTube access. There will be YouTube access to it. If your country cannot purchase YouTube videos, then you can visit my website, and there you can email me and you can watch the videos from there. Okay? So that's about it. Also, in terms of personal readings, so a lot of people who have been consistent clients of mine have been really upset about the idea that I wouldn't be doing personal readings at all anymore. So what I've decided I'll do is like I'll do 2 a week, but they'll be emergency readings. So it's like same day emergency readings. So you can check out my website and see if that's something that you're into. All right. Holiday looks, Pat McGrath. We're so in love with it. Happy holidays. The holidays are starting. It's going to be fun. Aries, you guys won the Halloween look on Instagram. I think Libra won in terms of views on YouTube, and you guys won in terms of likes on Instagram. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a compatibility video where I'm going to talk about you guys in relation to every sign. It's going to be super fun. So that's going to be for you guys, like as just like a free thing, and then other signs will have to like buy that video. All right, so that'll be like a nice gift for winning the Halloween looks, and let's see who wins the holiday looks. Let's keep it going. All right, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the support last month. It meant so much. Your comments, your love. You guys are so the best. See you in December.